Good morning. This is Jessica Stone, Community Relations Director for Mitchell County Hospital. Thank you for joining us this morning for our third episode of Ask the Experts. Joining me this morning is Dr. Dee Roach and Jennifer Hale. Dr. Roach, how much longer will the coronavirus outbreak last?
That's a magic question, and I wish I had the answer to it. There's so many variables obviously involved in controlling this thing, and I think the two most optimistic things we're looking at is, number one, the possibility of establishing and developing an effective vaccine that will be available worldwide. And then there's this other thing called herd immunity, which is a little bit more involved. Herd immunity implies that there are enough people in the population that have already been infected with it that it is no longer actively transmitted from one person to the next. To establish herd immunity, there has to be approximately 70 to 80% infection rate within that population. And we're obviously way far away from that magic number. The other challenge with herd immunity is that between here and the point that you get to that, there are going to be a lot of really sick people. Health resources, facilities such as this one and the bigger medical centers are going to be obviously overwhelmed with their resources. So herd immunity is something that we hope not to have to rely on, but certainly it is an option. Realistically, I think we have to look at how well we continue to do our social distancing and all those practices that we know well about as our economy opens up and as our population becomes more publicly active and interactive with each other. So it is the million-dollar question, and I don't think there is an absolute answer to it. And I could talk for another 30 minutes, but I'm not.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer, how do you know when it's safe to discontinue home isolation if you either have been diagnosed with COVID-19 or think you possibly have it?
It's a good question. The guidelines have changed slightly recently, and this is per CDC. They recommend that you isolate for 10 days from the date of your receiving that confirmed positive test result. And then additionally, making sure that you're symptom-free for 3 days, which would be no fever, no cough, no shortness of breath, no loss of sense of taste or smell, just all of those symptoms that are associated with COVID, that you are free of those symptoms for at least 3 days.
Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning for Ask the Expert. Join us again next Thursday.